Let me tell you about how I packed everything and moved to Los Angeles to chase the Hollywood dream. And after a few days, it all went crazy. Tonight, I'm going to tell you about my experience of moving to Los Angeles and how, after a few days, it all fell apart. When I talked to you last time, we had discussed about the premiere we had in Utah. Get out of the car, and I waved to the crowd, and I walked the red carpet. After that premiere, and I'd been working that year really hard, and I was having a lot of great success. I think I filmed like 3 commercials for the local Utah market. It wasn't paying the bills, but I was having a lot of fun doing it. And I figured after this premiere, come on, it's time, right? I've worked at Universal Studios Japan. I've toured. I've been in lots of different productions, theater productions. I was ready. I had put my reel together. I put all of the best stuff onto, the time, nothing was digital at the time. Back in 2003, go figure. So I put everything on a VHS cassette and put my business card on there, and packed up maybe 10 VHS cassettes and headed to Los Angeles. So I had my Ford Explorer. I packed everything that I had in there, put everything kind of around so that I could sleep in the back of the car. This is where I'm gonna live while I'm finding an apartment and doing all that kind of stuff. Now, in my mind, I thought, I'm ready to do this. It's just gonna happen. I'm gonna move to Los Angeles. I'm gonna meet someone. They're gonna put me up in their guest house, and I'm just gonna boom, boom, 6 months, I'm Brendan Fraser making movies. You know what I mean? That was my thought. How could this go wrong? Seriously, how can you not hire me now and give me some acting work and I can just start doing it full time? That was my mindset. That was what I was gonna do. So I loaded up the car. I'm ready to go. I have my demo tapes. I've got my resume and headshot printed out. I'm ready to go. I'm so pumped. I'm so excited. This is gonna be freaking awesome. I can't wait. Right? So this was in November, the end of November, right around. And you'll know why I'm laughing here in a minute. Right around Thanksgiving. So it was the second or third week in November. I packed up my car and I headed out. I think I had a total of $400 in my bank account. What am I thinking? Seriously. So I seriously thought someone was going to put me up at their guest house. I honestly did. I thought, I'm going to meet someone. No problem. I'll just guest house, I'll stay at someone's house. No, not a biggie, right? So, but first night on the road, I stop at a rest stop and I sleep in the back of my car, and until finally I get to Los Angeles. And the first thing I do is I drive all the way down. I drive into LA, drive down the Sunset Strip, all the way to the beach, and hopped out of my car and walked into the beach and took my shoes off and, waited in the cold surf for a little bit and sat down in the sand and just enjoyed the sunset, And this is back before cell phones, before GPS, before any of that, And so I had my Tom's Guide, the maps, and I, had the address and phone number of one of the other dancers that was in Legally Blonde, So I was going to look her up and we were going to hang out and talk, and I thought, she was going to give me the ins that I needed to get into Hollywood, and I was ripped, rare, and ready to go. And so no cell phones. We had cell phones, but not smartphones, That night I didn't have anywhere to stay, so I think I pulled into somewhere, and I can't, I don't even remember where but I spend the second night in a residential area and just in the back of my car, no biggie, And so I think the next day was like a Saturday. Now, I'm a Mormon, and so I belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and so I pulled into the temple there in Los Angeles, and behind the temple, there's the visitor center, and I pulled into the visitor center, and I found out that the singles ward was meeting the next day, and they gave me the address to the singles ward that was meeting. And so, I think that night, I parked outside of the temple grounds and just camped out in the view of the Angel Moroni there. I felt safe for some reason. Get to church and meet some people that I know, actually. So I meet a few of the people that I'd built relationships at BYU who went through the film program. And so I talked to those people, and we hooked up and chatted. And there was a guy that was there, and he looked, I don't know why, I was like, hey dude, what's up? And like introduced myself, and he was like, I'm Junior. He's like, what's your name? I was like, I'm John Goodman. And it just so happened, John, we were both from Logan, and we both decided to move to Los Angeles at the same time. And I was like, wow, what a coincidence. I met this guy, and we moved to Los Angeles at the same time. I can't believe it. I met John, and I met a few of my friends. We talked to them, and it's Thanksgiving weekend. And so some of the people that we met were like, hey, why don't you come over for you and John, why don't you come over for Thanksgiving? Went to my friends for Thanksgiving. And then that night they were like, hey, we're going to Ensenada this weekend. If you want to join us, we're going to go to Ensenada and see the sights in Mexico. I was like, gee, I've never been to Mexico. Why not? And I can't get a hold of the dancer that I'd met from Los Angeles, who I had her contact info. And so I never ever met her, but I ended up just leaving this box of VHS videotapes and a stack of resumes outside her door. She was like, yeah, just leave it there. I'll pass it on. So we go to Ensenada, and there was like six of us that cram into this small little car, and we take this road trip to Ensenada. Now, this is a fun story. So Ensenada, I don't know why we went to Ensenada. They were like, yeah, you gotta get Mexican vanilla. Like, that's the thing to get in Mexico. You gotta get some vanilla. So we went to a grocery store, and we picked up some vanilla, and then we stayed in this. There's 6 of us staying in this really dinky little hotel, just like, oh my gosh. That night, it was a Friday night, and we went out, the day after Thanksgiving. The town is dead, right? We're going out, and we're all these Mormon kids, right? And like none of us drink. And so like we're going to these bars, and they're charging us full price for drinks. And we're like, dude, we're not getting any alcohol. Like, why is it so expensive? Anyway, so I think we got a couple of virgin margaritas, and we got some street food and some street tacos, and just had we're having fun, but just still a little off, just kind of weird. Anyway, we're looking for somewhere to hang out. So, to go dancing or to kind of have fun. You should go here, you should go here, you should go here. So we're walking down the street, and we walk into one place. Nah, it wasn't really a great vibe. And then we walk into another, like, of course there's a strip club across the road. Like, nah, we better not go there, And then we walk in. They walk into this place, and I was like, and there were like people dancing and having fun. I was like, oh, this is kind of fun, right? But like, there were a lot of girls, and I was like, hey, this is kind of cool, And so I'm scoping the room, and all the girls are checking me out, and I'm kind of feeling myself, and I'm like, this is cool, but it's kind of weird. And like, it's a fast song, but there's a couple slow dancing on the dance floor, just kind of like, and I like at this time I just kind of tilt my head and like, something's a little, and then off to the side, one of the girls that we're with is like, what? A whorehouse? So needless to say, we pack it up and we we get out of Dodge. We go back to the hotel. I think we found a pool table and played pool for a little while. Pool and darts. Anyways, spent the next morning just doing some shopping and then, hopped back in the car and drove back up to LA. And about this time, I'm like, dude, I am running out of money. No one has put me up at their guest house, right? But like the thing that nobody told me, the thing that I did not know, because this is like before internet, before the whole, you know what I mean? So what nobody told me was that all production closes down for the holidays. Like Thanksgiving comes in, they don't just close for Thanksgiving. Everyone shuts down for the rest of the season. TV shows, movies, everybody, they shut down for the whole season, for all of December. So nobody's working. So there's no work in Hollywood, right? So like, I think I was down to my last $40, right? And I'm like, dude. And I remember I'd camped a couple nights in Beverly Hills. And, I think I got kind of chased out of one of the neighborhoods. And then, I was like, dude, what do I do? And so like my dreams are kind of crashing down. And then I was like, dude, I don't have any money. I don't have, like, nobody's put me up at their guest house. I don't have any work. I haven't, so I sheepishly just drove back to Utah. And needless to say, I was fully accepted, family embraced me and welcomed me back, but like it stung a little, I really, really wanted it to happen. I really wanted it to work. I really wanted that dream to come true. And, over the next few years, like I did some more research and I read books and I figured out what I needed to do and, went to a couple of talent showcases but that's my LA story. So thank you for joining me on this story of my first move to Los Angeles. And my second move to Los Angeles was a lot more fun, a lot more interesting, a lot more well planned out. And it turned out to be a really fun and enjoyable experience. And I'll have to share more of those stories in the future. So thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.